Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, I'm sorry for the delay because we missed the class on Monday and I had promised you to send you the recording on Tuesday. Now, this lecture is there already on eLearn and on your WhatsApp groups. So, I am sure you must have gone through the lecture. This is a very important chapter in research methodology because in research everything that we do has to be scientific, and scientific means that it cannot be a blind guess. There has to be some strong basis for doing anything. Before we start discussing the lecture on literature review, I'll just like to give you an example of analysis, which is a very simple example of analysis, so that you get familiar with what you are supposed to finally get as in your research projects. So you can see here that this is a simple score statistics for the quiz that we recently had. You can see that there are some data given on the basis of which you can conclude who performed better and who performed worse in the recently held quiz. Now you can see here, this is for group 1. The girls who scored the minimum score was 6 out of 10. The maximum, there are many girls who scored 100%, and average of the class of group 1 was 93.47, and you can see that the standard deviation was 10.8%. so the distance from the mean was 10.8%. so the students were mainly in the area of 10.8% difference from the mean score. Now that's for group 1. For group 2, you can see again it's 60, 100, 96.03, standard deviation is 9, and here the average score was 93.47, but here it's 96.03. so group 2 has done better than group 1. And when we see group 3, you can see that they have got 92.63%. This means that they are the lowest among the 3 groups of girls, and their standard deviation is also high. And one thing to notice is the graph. So you can on the graph itself you can see the number of users percentage and the grade received. So what you see is that 60%, 70% of the students received 100% grade. That's a very good achievement for the class. And here it's very high. 80% of the students, they got 100%. Here it is 70%, no, less than 60% students, 65% students got 100%. So graph is also a very good tool to study. To analyze the performance or to do analysis of the results. Now finally, if we combine all of them, we had 187 students total in girls, and the total class statistics for girls was, you can see 93.91% is the average score of the class. and 60 was the minimum. So that is for girls combined. Now if we look at the boys combined, and you can see that when we use the analytics of eLearn, it also gives some colors. So you can see they are showing red. Red means this guy has failed. So anything less than 40, they treat it as fail. So one student, or say it's about 5% of the students have failed. They have got less than 25% grade, and the highest is 100%. But compared to the girls, you can see that the students who received 100% are much less. Most of them are in the range of 75 to 85%. And you can see the mode, median, standard deviation. This we will discuss later. So this gives you an idea that when you will conduct your research for your project, you will get something similar, and then if you are using Google survey, it will give you graphs. Based on the graphs, you have to write the conclusions. Your research questions, you will write the answers based on the analysis. Now coming to the literature review, what is it? It is actually the search and evaluation of the available literature in your given subject or chosen topic area. A very crude form of literature review is that it is the search of articles on research articles, not every article, not the article that you get on newspapers. The articles that have been written in journals, reported in journals, and that gives you idea on how you will conduct your research, how you will conduct your find your answers to the research questions. So literature review is a very important part of your research process, and you can see here in this slide what is the purpose of a literature review. These are some of the purposes for which we do survey of literature. So what we will do, some of you may have already selected your topic. So what you will do, you will now start going to Saudi Digital Library and go for one of the databases, Emerald or EBSCO, type the keywords, and from the keywords you will start reading on your topic, and you will be amazed to see that the topic that you have chosen has already been studied somewhere, and there are many information which is available. So you will have to go one by one. Now since you have less time, you will stop at, you will try to find the best 20-25 articles and collect them, save them in your folder, and then you stop your literature review. Then you will start reading one by one all the articles, and then you will decide on how you will prepare your questionnaire, who will be the respondents, and how many respondents do you need. All this will come from the review of literature. So right now you have to decide on your topic, and then after you have selected the topic, you will do the review of literature. Now there are two types of review. One is the preliminary search, meaning that now you have just a vague idea of your topic and you want to be clear on what research questions I have to ask. So this is called preliminary research. And the process is the same. You will go through the library, digital library, put your keywords there, and then you will decide on your topic, what my topic is, and then also define your research questions. So right now, if you are not selected, or even if you are selected with your topic, you do your preliminary search and collect the articles to get a good idea on what your topic and research questions should be. Once you are done, you will go to the next advanced stage, where you will do a critical review of the literature. in which you just not see the topics or the abstract of the articles, but also you read the full article, go through the introduction, and we will discuss this today in the example that I have given to you. There are four steps to complete the literature review. First of all, you preview, just go through the abstract, then you annotate. Annotating means you note down and you start asking yourself when you are reading some article, you start asking questions. Means ask yourself, note down the questions that comes to you, because that is called active reading. And when you do active reading, you get an idea on how you will start conducting your research on the same topic. So once you have read the full article, you will summarize the full article in your own words, and finally you will compare and contrast with the different articles, and also your own idea, how close it is to your idea, and then based on this reading you will also sometimes modify your idea. So to make a checklist of what you should do in the literature review, you have to ensure that the literatures covered relate clearly to your research question and objectives. So what you do, every article that you take, make a checklist and tick all of them. Have you covered the most relevant and significant theories of recognized experts in the area? So somebody of you may have opted for HR, some marketing. So in your topic there must be some theories, and you have to ensure that you are able to come to that theory with your literature review. That is important. It is possible that there is no theory, you are doing something new, in your topic the theory is still being developed. So you have to see that, because if you read one or two good papers, one or two good articles, you immediately reach the theory. Then you have to see whether you have covered the most relevant and significant literature, or at least a representative sample. Have you included up-to-date literature? And up-to-date means, it is normally said, don't go for articles which are older than 10 years. So don't look for articles for earlier than 2005. It should be after 2005. Have you referenced all the literature used in the format prescribed in the assessment criteria? Now where will you find the articles? And you can see here that there are three sources. The most precise details are available in reports, thesis. It is more detailed. Secondary sources are the journals, books, newspapers, some government publications. Journals are the one major source of research articles, which are available in indexes or in catalogs and in your databases. So these databases are available in our Saudi Digital Library, and you must have read the how to use Saudi Digital Library that I forwarded to you. With that you can open the Saudi Digital Library. You first of all try to look into Emerald database, search your keyword, and you will find the articles. Now what is a keyword? Keywords are the basic terms that describe your research questions and objectives. And we are very familiar with keywords. So for example, if I have to buy say a book, I just go to Google and don't write the full name of the book. Even if I just write the name of the author, I get the list of results from Google search. So similarly in this online databases also, it's very easy today to just type the keywords and then it will give you the results. So identifying the keywords is very important, and it's very easy, it's not very difficult. So if your topic is the influence of IQ on a student performance, so you have two main keywords, IQ and student performance. When you type this, in search engine, you immediately get the results, and those are your main articles, result articles. So when you are starting to do your literature review with your group members, you will make a note of it on a sheet of paper or a diary or online. You will write the bibliographic details. What is bibliographic detail? It is how to cite, So I will just show you how to cite an article. Then you will write the brief summary of content which is there inside the article, and then supplementary information. Now here, you can see in your book, box 3.7 in literature review, you will see that Simon wanted to do a research on green issues, and after a preliminary research review, he has this research question: how have green issues influenced the way in which manufacturers advertise cars? The topic is very interesting, and one of your groups can choose this topic. You can just change from the car industry to any other industry, and you can study how the advertisements, Elanat, have been influenced by the green issues. So what they have done in is, you can see that it is one column is parameter, narrow and broader. So there are, what he is doing, he is trying to search in a narrow level. He is just confining himself to a country. On the other hand, he is taking two countries. Subject area, he is limiting himself to very narrow focus, green issues, whereas in broader, he is also looking into environmental issues. So he wants to see from the narrow and broad angles what are the possible literature available on this area. In narrow, he is just referring to refereed journals and books, but in broader, he is referring to any journals and books. Refereed journals are the good articles, good journals, which are available in good databases like Emerald or Thomson Reuters or Springer, Scopus. And you can see that in narrow, he is just focusing on the last 5 years, whereas in broader, he is also looking for past studies more than 15 years ago. And this checklist you can read yourself. This is how to read actively. So when you are going through any article in English or Arabic, or you do any reading, you should follow these principles to do a good reading, which gives you knowledge. So that is very important for students to do active reading. You should read that box to know how to do active reading. Now coming to one of the most important points, which is the ethical principle of research, is plagiarism. You can see here the spelling, plagiarism. Plagiarism is a very common practice among students as well as elders, which is extremely dangerous in career, in your profession. A good student coming from a good institution will never steal materials from others and say that this is mine. This stealing is the worst of stealing, and you should, sometimes you don't know and do it, so we should be aware that we do not do this unaware. We should be knowing exactly what is plagiarism and avoid it. So even if you didn't know it till now, from now onwards, in future, in your, not just in research methods course, but anywhere, when you write something, when you submit an assignment to any professor, or you write anything anywhere, it should be in your own words. If you copy from somewhere, there should be proper citation. You should tell that this is not my words, this has been copied from somewhere, and give the name of the place from where you copied. So plagiarism can happen in the following ways. You can steal materials, which is the worst form. You just copy from websites and say that this is mine. Like for example, in my research methods course, There are many, if you go to search on Google, you will find many research articles. Now, if you just copy it and say, this is my article, this is the worst form of copying and stealing. And there are sometimes, this is a very normal practice that many students submit the same work. So it's very difficult to know which work is the original, and you do this normally. So one group writes something on a topic, and then the other group just submits the same thing to the Dropbox. Now this is very difficult to find out who did what, but the thing is, this is plagiarism. So you should not do this. Then you also, a shorter form, a smaller form of plagiarism is that you copy sections of materials from one source, one or more source texts, and you do not give the reference. So you copy one line from an article and just paste it as your own in your assignment or course projects. This is also plagiarism. So anytime when you copy something from anywhere, full article, a sentence, or more than 3 words, you must in bracket give the reference, give the citation that this is copied, this was written by this person. When you do that, it's correct. You should acknowledge others' work, and this is good way to acknowledge others. You cannot learn without reading other works. So when you read other works and use their sentences, their quotations, just write their names with ear, and it becomes ethical. It's basically not just ethical, it is a wonderful practice that you have read so many articles and then you have written your work. Now, since I had to wait for this long to record the lecture, there are some questions, and this will be your assignment. There are 14 questions I have written. These are the 14 questions you have to answer in your assignment. Now, what will be your assignment? I'll send you on the group, but just now I will try to explain to you how will you do the assignment and what we discussed in the lecture just now, that I'll summarize by an example. Now you can see here that this is an example of an article. The article is, now you know that there are 4 stages of literature review: previewing, annotation, summarizing, and comparing, contrasting. So first of all, you will preview the article. So suppose you went to Emerald. Now you can see here I have downloaded this article from Emerald Insight. This is the name of the database. You can note down. In Saudi Digital Library, it's arranged alphabetically. So when you go to English database, you will see with E, you will find Emerald. Now Emerald, when you search for the keyword, see, I have downloaded it from Saudi Digital Library. I downloaded on 4th of March 2017. And how will you cite this article? I told you that whenever you do the citation, here it is how to cite this document. You will write M. Sadiq Suhail and Nasar M. Sheikh 2004 and Quest for Excellence. This is the title of the topic. This is the name of the journal, volume, issue, page numbers. So every journal, there are many articles, and this article is present on 58 to 65 page numbers. This is the first thing you have to note down when you are reading an article. Now, just by reading the topic, you may decide whether this is useful for you or not. So some of the groups maybe, you want to do a research on excellence in business education. How do the student impressions affect service quality? So many of you, some groups may be interested in this topic. So if you are interested in this topic, you will go further and then read the abstract. Now this is a very important element in any research abstract, and also the keywords you can see here. Keywords: service quality assurance, students' perception, education, Saudi Arabia. With these keywords, you can easily find this topic and other topics. So this is easy, very easy, but you should know how to write the keywords from your topics. So here you can see I have underlined many of the things. First thing is how to write the citation. Now when he has written Beaver 1994, it means that Beaver is the author of this particular idea. They are telling you that this is not my idea, that many university and college administrators see implementation of quality practices. They have written it, but the idea is of Beaver, and this was published in an article in 1994. And when you go to the reference section, the full details of the article is given there. Similarly, this article is about how students' satisfaction is measured. So this is about King Fahd University of Petroleum Management, College of Industrial Management, and everything is here. You will go through all the things. You will write the summary of the article. This is the scale that they have used to measure satisfaction. So you can see here, friends, now contact factor name, variables, and then this is statistical analysis we will learn later. And finally, there will be a section called discussion and implications, and this will complete the article. References give you the full details of where you can find these articles, the articles that they have used. So this is how each article you will do, and based on this I will give you an assignment which you will learn in detail when I give you on the WhatsApp group. So I hope this recorded lecture will be useful. If you have any question, you can ask me on group, on personal email. And before you start your assignment, you should be clear with this topic. The next class, we will do the research process, and on Monday, inshallah, we will meet and do the research process. If you have any question, you can ask me, and you should try to decide on your topic fast, so that you are able to do your assignment on the topic, first assignment on your project. Jazakallahu khair.